name's Stu McGrath. I'm the writer and producer of a new musical coming out called Heart of a Dog that will be on stage in May next year at the Street Theatre. We're asked to give a quick overview of our 4 Ps in a presentation that I'm calling Why is Life So Rough? The Dilemmas of Marketing a New Musical. The product. Imagine, if you will, the grey streets of Moscow 1925 covered in snow, a bunch of musicians and workers huddled around, a fire burning in the corner, a stray dog hiding up the back, and into this scene of poverty and depression walks this very gregarious gentleman dressed in a fur coat, big tall hat, and he starts to sing on the white and pristine pages of the Moscow winter snow. There are song samples on the website, and you will have the website at the end of the presentation. That gentleman is Dr. Philip Preobrazhensky, and he lives a very privileged life in revolutionary Moscow because of his skills in reproductive surgery. All his clients are the Communist Party elite, and he experiments to keep top of his game. One day he pulls a stray dog off the street and transplants the brains and testicles of a drunkard onto the dog. The dog morphs into this obnoxious teenager, budding communist character who threatens to destroy the doctor's privileged lifestyle and devour bachelorhood. We're talking music theatre. To summarise, yes, it's based on a novel by Mikhail Bulgakov. Set in 1925, privileged, been through all of that. It's a bit My Fair Lady, it's a bit Frankenstein, and it's a bit of a carry-on movie. That's the product.
It's a bit OTT.
Bit OTT, it's all OTT.
Something for everyone.
It's been 4 years in development, and for a week season at the Street Theatre, it's a $100,000 budget. I've been very lucky, and it gives it a level of credibility to have scored a $50,000 Australia Council grant, and I've got about $10,000 of in-kind support already as well. Part of the team, myself, writer producer, that's Sharik the dog. My composer is an industrial goth called Mark Robertson. He's come on board and is doing a fantastic job with pulling the music together. Again, there are song samples on the website, you can hear those. On the creative team as well, we have Nick Byrne, who is the director of Impro ACT. He's the owner of PASH, the Performing Arts Support Hub in Civic. Being an improviser, he's got a great sense of comic timing. He also was married to a Russian woman, so he understands the cultural fit and the source material, so we're really happy to have him on board. Imogen Keane is a well-known and quite successful local designer. Her most recent work has been on The Very Sad Fish Lady at the Street Theatre. She also worked on Prime Time, which is the sort of Shortest and Simpson show about all of Australia's Prime Ministers earlier this year. So she's great to have on board. Coming down from Sydney, because he's so enthusiastic and passionate about this product, is Guy Harding. So he comes from a dance background primarily, but he also ran the Carriage Works in Sydney for a number of years. I can also announce as well that we have Mr. Googong himself, Dean Kerman, starring as Sharik, our dog. So he will be something to look out for. 2014 season, as I said, tentatively the 16th to the 18th of May. I've got the dates penciled into the Street Theatre. I'm also looking at the Hayes Theatre in Sydney and Fringe Festivals, The Life Beyond Canberra for the show. There's a lot of competition in Canberra. Just next year alone we have Cabaret, Witches of Eastwick, La Cage of Follies, Jazz Garters, but the audience that we've got will also be looking further afield. King and I will be in Sydney, Wicked will be coming to Sydney, and King Kong will be finishing up in Melbourne, never to come back. So they're more expensive, but that's where our audience will want to go. Price, we've talked about product, price. My pricing goal is to create a perception of affordable quality. Working for me is the reputation of the Street Theatre and the fact that this will be part of their Made in Canberra season. Working against me is the fact that it's a new work and I'm an unknown writer for the moment. Tickets will be about the $40 mark, but we look at concession costs, but also group discounts as well. The final price will actually be negotiated with the venues. The previews, for those of you who don't know performing arts much, the sort of the final dress rehearsal, you invite the media to, and there's chances for cheap tickets to the public as well. Placement. There are options. I don't have to go to the Street Theatre. There's Tuggeranong Arts Centre, there's the Canberra Theatre Courtyard Studios. However, having developed up the show through the Street, they've got a vested interest in it. They've provided the venue hire in kind, which is fantastic for me. They also provide the credibility of the Made in Canberra season. I'm not just a voice on my own starting out. And the show itself, being a bit fringy, a bit out there, it aligns with the Street Theatre's values too, so it's a good brand fit. Promotion. My goal for the promotion is to sell at least 600 ticks pre-sale. I've only got 3 shows. It's a 1-week season. I don't have the opportunity for word of mouth to get out there, so I need to develop that interest in the show beforehand. That's the goal I'm working towards, about 80% pre-sale. The audience, having done a bit of research and having done these workshops, I can target my best bang for my buck will be at women aged 40 and up. They're educated, they're professional, they have a disposable income. They may be single or partnered, but they don't have any dependents at the moment. For that audience, what does this product solve? It's entertainment and a form of entertainment that they are already going to. It's thought-provoking. Who wants to know how to make the perfect man? Yeah, well there you go. There's one person up to that.
Can you make the perfect man there?
You could. You have to come along and find out. Come along and find out.
Sadly, then there'll be all women.
As a new show, there is also that status, that credibility. Oh, I was there at the beginning, particularly if I can get that buy-in before the show. It gives people a sense of ownership and a sense of, oh, I was there, this is the start of something really good. Total budgets, we all know that the strings are tight, and that's why I've had to be a bit inventive and think beyond the posters and postcards and that sort of thing as well. So the media channels will have local press, and the selling point here is that it's a new story, is that it's a unique story. And with the creative team we've got, there'll be lots of style, and they're also a very pretty bunch too. So there's lots that we can sell to get free press. Social media content, I've already started that. There's a Twitter page, a Facebook page, and the website, and I'm building those bit by bit, continuing to add material to them. Looking beyond that, social media ads. I know who my target audience is, so I can zero in on them with online advertising through Facebook, through Google, through the likes of other online venues that the audience goes to, such as Her Canberra, such as Mamma Mia, the Hoopla. So targeted online advertising. The other thought that came to me that works for Canberra as well as any other regional or metropolitan site is book clubs. If I can go out 3 months before a show is due there and say, hey, this new show is coming, it's based on this book, are you guys interested in reviewing the book as part of the book club, and then organising a group discount after that as well. If I can particularly get buy-in from a publisher too, that adds more strings to my bow, so to speak. So my time frame for this is that, so January, I'll start approaching the book clubs, and I'll just continue doing my broader social media. Tickets will go on sale around March. That's when I'll really ramp up the online advertising as well, directing them to ticket sales. April, we'll have a press release, we'll have a launch event. Is the launch event exclusive and ticketed as part of perhaps a reward for a crowdsourcing campaign, or is it an open event? Those things I still need to assess. And the lead up to production week itself, I just need to track and adjust that marketing to make sure that I hit my goal. heartofadogthemusical.com. There are song samples on there. I'll continue to add photos. We're starting to get into the rehearsal process as well, so there'll be video going up there too. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. Please feel free. Questions?
Just one,
Helen.
more like a comment. I dispute your, what you say about your target group, the people, the other groups. I do not think that the filler, the free reign, the people who go to musicals, I don't think they are your target audience. I think this is, you used the word fringy at one point, I think this is for straight theatre people who are used to original works. The most original thing that was seen in musical theatre last year was Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds by Super Production, and that has been around for a long time. They don't like, the musical theatre people do not like new stuff. I remember when they first brought The Secret Garden to Australia, and they hired one of the biggest ad companies in Sydney to do an analysis, which had to start with, have you ever read The Secret Garden? Would you go to see the musical? What people who go to see the musicals go to see is the stuff that they know. I reckon what you're after are straight theatre goers. They're people who are interested in exciting and innovative things in the theatre. And I don't think, last year, the only parallel might have been that musical, I Love You, You're Perfect Now Change, which was a boutique musical, if you like. And I'd be thinking of this as more a boutique musical. Luckily, the street theatres, you've talked about making program, you've got the street theatre on side because it's in their interest. They have a good network, a very good mailing list. They know who their audiences are, but I don't reckon it's those Philo Super, Phoenix, Free Reign people at all.
Thank you.
Question and a suggestion. Are we talking Wilbur with songs?
Pretty much.
Okay.
It has that vibe about it, yes.
Because when people hear an unknown quantity, they're going to go, oh, so what's it like?
Yeah.
So I'll just factor that in the mix.
Yeah.
Suggestions in terms of promo are cheeky dog groups, dog walking groups, have a launch at a dog park. Seriously?
Ian Warden. He's dog lover in Canberra.
Yeah. I mean, you've got
You've got him as your patron.
Russian embassy, and have Meet the Dog event at Paper Chain Workshop in Marnie,
Yeah.
something like that.
Also, the Russia Australia Business Council is based in Canberra.
Well,
So,
I like the paper chain one, and on your website you could do a link to ordering the book.
Yep.
Because I don't know how many people coming out of a comedy of errors wish they had have read the book
So-
again or whatever, or read it before they went.
so you have the dog reading something from the play and vodka shots. So
Yeah.
When is the Russian, when is the Russian Resurrection Film Festival? Because if it's before you, that's an annual event here. If it comes before you, you can cross-promote via the film festival.
Jim, you might also consider contacting the Canberra Academy of Dramatic Art, because you know they've just introduced a music theatre diploma.
Oh yeah, they've just done a musical themselves the other day.
I'd also have a think about, given the fact that you're from Canberra, and there's probably a lot of, I mean, so there's two things here. You're doing this for the first time, I assume.
Yep.
There's probably some value in walking others through that experience, offering them some access to backstage or the ongoing experience of running it. The second one would be people who've come to Canberra from the state, who this is the street theatre and some of the more quirky things they put on are unique aspects of Canberra.
Yeah.
And I'd be selling that as the value and not necessarily discounting tickets per se. I think there is plenty of money to pay for stuff that people deem to be valuable, and I think discounting it sends entirely the wrong message because it makes it feel like you're discounting because it's cheap and nasty.
Yeah.
Rather than if you just pick a decent price, you're not charging $120 a ticket.
But the preview, you can discount the preview because it isn't before it. If you do that, because it hasn't opened yet, you know. And by the way, I would never review a musical on the preview night.
I'd reinforce that, just quickly chime in, you could tie in a charity vote, so they could, like, up to these social groups come along,
RSPCA.
Yeah.
RSPCA, rescue dog sort of thing, so, come along, you can offer a discounted blow, agree, I think you need to start as a mean to go on with your price point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, social attributes, that's becoming really big in marketing.
What's the censorship level of it? Is it like something you could take children to, or is
No.
So somewhere you probably need to make that distinction in the promotion with RSPCA and things like that.
Dog
Well,